Welcome to 2 high protein snacks. These are simple, easy, delicious and tasty. First we're going to make a caramelized umami almond, also known as an almond. And the second one, we're going to make Cajun protein pulses. Beautiful, what are you going to make it in? We're going to make them in an instant VersaZone Vortex air fryer. First up, we're going to make our Cajun protein pulses. Into a bowl, I've got 150 grams of chickpeas. These are just tinned chickpeas that I drained and rinsed. 100 grams of cooked lentils, in they go. That's just tinned lentils that are drained and rinsed. We've got 50 grams of pumpkin seeds, really high, great source of protein and also with calcium. So I've got 10 sprays of oil, which is actually less than 1 tablespoon of oil. I've got 4 tablespoons of tamari. Use soya sauce if you don't have tamari. 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, that'll add a nice cheesy note to it. In terms of spices, I've got half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I've got 1 teaspoon of regular sweet paprika. I've got 1/3 of a teaspoon of chili powder. If you don't like it spicy, make it less or leave it out completely, and a pinch of salt. Take a spoon and give them a good mix. You really want to coat each pulse just with all this flavor. Just an FYI, we use tinned pulses. We just make sure and drain and rinse them so they're completely sud-free because that reduces the fart power by at least 70%. Okay, next up we're gonna make our caramelized umami almonds. I've got 100 grams of almonds, also known as almonds. So I've got 1 tablespoon of tamari. And to give that caramelization, I've got 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Oh, nice. So we're going sweet and salty in this. Okay, again, we're gonna go with about half a tablespoon of oil or 10 sprays. Give them a good mix beforehand just to avoid the spices clumping. So in terms of spices, I've got half a teaspoon of paprika. I've got 1/3 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, give a nice smoky taste. I've got 1/3 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, a pinch of chili powder, and a pinch of salt. I'm just gonna mix them together on the plate and then add them to our almonds. Do these cook for the same amount of time or what happens? Great question, Steve. So that's why this instant air fryer is so class. It's got 2 different ovens, 2 different heating elements. It's got 2 different heating elements, so you can set them to both go at separate times and it'll sync finish, so they'll finish at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna pop our protein pulses on one side. So you wanna spread them out and make sure that they get to, you want just 1 even layer of it.
Just ensure they get crispy, otherwise they'll end up soggy.
And then in the second side of the drawer, we're gonna add our umami caramelized almonds. And once again, just spread them out so you've got 1 thin layer on top. Yeah, I've definitely been in loads of situations where I've had things stacked on top of one another. So to have the dual function makes such a real use, it really, really does. So we've had our air fryer been preheating and now it's ready to go. The fantastic thing here is I can start them, even though the protein pulses take 15 minutes and the almonds take 5 minutes, I can just press sync finish and they'll both finish at the same time. So you can hear it running, it's pretty quiet compared to an oven, it uses 60% less energy and it's 95% less oil. Woo! Voila! Look, we got a little alarm bell telling us, tag! They finished at the same time and it's got a lovely little sound, look, listen. It's not an offensive alarm. Well done, instant.
Here we go.
Woo! The big reveal. So even listen to the sound of that. They sound very hollow and sound cooked. Crispy, crispy, crispy. Okay, thing I want to tell you here is that you really want to leave these cool because if you don't leave them cool, like with almonds, they were only cooked for 5 minutes, which sounds, if you eat them now, they'll have a little bit of chew in them. But because they've been heated right the way through, they'll continue cooking for another 5 or 10 minutes, even though they're not in the air fryer anymore. And that's what's going to really ensure that they don't overcook. Residual cooking, that's the technical term there, which my brother told you here. So we've left them cool for about 15 minutes and now it's just time just to transfer them. I'm just going to transfer our almonds first. They really are fantastic, crispy. You can hear how light they are and the flavor on them is just next level. Really? Okay, next up we're going to transfer our pulses. This instant VersaZone Vortex air fryer will really add value to your life.
And the benefit of an air fryer is that you're going to use less oil, they're easier to use, they use less electricity, and the more you can make the healthy choice, the easier choice, the more it is to be sustainably healthy.
So the benefit of this instant air fryer is that it's got 8.5 litre drawer, dual function sink, like it's got a dual.
That.
Really, really is. You've got 8 different functions in it, including dehydrating, broiling, baking. Like we're going to do recipes with baking stuff in it. It's got no burn technology, and it really is great for feeding the full family. I find I use it so much more than an oven. It's just so practical. So details down below. So thanks a lot for watching it, and I hope you really enjoyed these snacks. Cheers.